Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, June the 9th. And I've got the ES here on the screen. You guys know I primarily trade the ES or the SPX or the SPY. And so I like to look at that as a barometer for the overall market. So I'm looking at this, and we have just had a super choppy day. If you look here, the dark green is today's price action, and we've been in this tight range. Notice that's less than 10 points until just a few minutes ago when the market started selling off. I'm recording this video right before the close because I have to leave the office right after the close. So anyway, so we're selling off here a little bit. Nothing major. I mean, we're only down 7 points right now, but it's a little unusual that we've been in this tight, choppy range. I mean, this is the overnight action last night, and this is today's action. Been very tight, range-bound kind of chop, which is good. I think what everybody's waiting on, tomorrow we have CPI in the morning, which will tell us if there is any inflation, and more importantly, it'll tell the Fed, what's going on with inflation. The Fed doesn't seem to see inflation, and I see it everywhere I look. And you guys may or may not know, we've just done a major renovation on a house, and so we're buying, all the commodities and lumber and so forth, and I see the prices are much more than, than previous renovations that we've done, or things that we've done where I've had to buy, commodity-based things. And I'm seeing in the labor, it's everything seems like we're getting some inflation, and the Fed doesn't seem to see it. They say it's transitory and all that kind of stuff. So that will translate tomorrow through the CPI, and then the Fed. We actually have a Fed meeting next week with Powell commentary, press release, and all that kind of stuff next Wednesday on the 16th. And then, we might start to see some movements. I doubt they're going to do anything yet, but you never know. At some point, they will say, inflation is going to be a problem, or they may say, you know what, we were right, inflation is transitory, things are looking better. Yeah, I don't know. I have no way to know. But at some point, when interest rates start to go back up, the crazy house buying mania, will slow down, and then that will, go through the whole economy with the slowdown and everything, housing related at some point. And maybe I'm over, maybe I'm being pessimistic or whatever. I don't know, but it's certainly not going to be good when rates start ticking back up again. So we shall see. We'll start to get a little indication tomorrow. And again, all that, was to say that I'm not sure why this thing is going down here. If we look at this on you guys know I like to look at different, starting from short-term time frames to longer term here, the ES. We just been in this tight chop. Look at that. This is all week, this week. And that's a 5-day chart. Let's go out to a 20-day chart. And I mean, you can see just, slam down all the way down to almost 4,000 on the ES, rip straight back up, slam almost all the way back down, rip straight up, and then just kind of zombie land up here. There's just, we're just not doing anything. And if we go out here on a 1-year chart, put this kind of in a little more perspective, you can see that we have been, essentially chopping in this range, with the little exception. We had the little dip down there, and that was, again, we just saw that it was straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, following that 50-day moving average. But for the most part, we're chopping here. So what'll happen sooner or later, I don't know when, we'll either break higher or we'll break lower, one way or the other. And we, and one will probably cause the other. So if we do end up breaking higher, how high is high? Do we go to 4,300? Do we go to 4,400? And then, we hit an exhaustion point and come back down, or vice versa. And again, no one knows, and I know that's probably not a great answer, But really, at this point, when I look at the charts and when I look at everything on the economic backdrop, there is total indecision here at this point, and I do think at some point we have a little more meaningful pullback here. Maybe something like this, something like this. This was kind of minor, I guess, compared to those, but we got some symmetry here, and we'll probably see that again. But again, I don't know if we do it from this point or if we go higher and then do it. Let's look real quick. I'm going to throw the voodoo lines on here, and again, I'm still just looking at the S&P. Let's see here. There's our voodoo lines again. Fire line here, snow line here, tree line down here. Let me clean this up just for a second, and I will show you daily. Kind of clean it up a little bit there, and you can see kind of what we're looking at. So we could come down to any of these levels. Of course, it'll be based on what's going on with the Fed, what's going on. We could still have COVID news or whatever. Any kind of news could take us one way or the other. But the bottom line on this is that we have to base everything on the charts, and this chart is still bullish until proven otherwise. I'm going to assume this thing is going to continue this our stair-step kind of pattern that we always have. Now at some point we'll break and the moving averages will start crossing and all that kind of stuff, but right now it's still positioned to the upside. That being said, I'm super light. I do have 3 SPX trades on. I've got some calendars that have some nice exposure to volatility and some really wide width. So I'm okay either way if we go up or down. It's getting harder to pick directional stuff here, except on a real case-by-case basis. I've mentioned quite a few times in the videos that to get long Generac way back here, we had a nice run in it. I'm still long CMG. It's not doing me any favors right here yet, but I still like it to the upside. And I'm looking at a couple other names here. Home Depot, Riot. We got into Riot last week for a nice little bounce here. But I mean, it's very kind of one-off kind of things that I'm doing. So I would say that especially tomorrow, watch tomorrow into Friday. Tomorrow's technically Pitbull low, but that is hit or miss. Has been lately. So watch that as we go into tomorrow and Friday, and then really be on guard for next week to see what the Fed says about all this inflation and everything that's going on in the economy right now. So with that, that's what I've got right now. I'm staying light, I'm staying nimble, I'm sizing pretty light, and just using tight stops and just trading this thing one day at a time. That's all we can do. So with that, let me wind it up. I appreciate the time, and I'll see you guys at the next update. Take care. Thanks.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me